All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, blessing Awodibu, showing off his physique update and the progress that he's made since the last time we saw him on stage. It feels like forever ago, but if you guys remember, we last saw him at the New York Pro and at the Indy Pro, and you guys might remember the rivalry that he had with Nick Walker. And back then, that was actually his pro debut. He actually had taken a while to actually compete as a pro, even though he had his pro card. And he says in this update that he's weighing 300 pounds. He says, light vacuum at 300, cannot wait to make the waist disappear. Love this pose. Learned so much from last year about my body, excited for my next move. And I guess he's working with George Farah, who is obviously known for coaching Kai Green, because he tags George Farah in this post. Now, he also posted a back shot yesterday, so I'm assuming these were either taken on the same day or just one day apart. So either way, still taking both probably at around 300 pounds. So my first thought about this update was that I like the archer pose, that kind of variation of a front double bicep with the other arm kind of pointing straight. I really like that pose, and I wish more current open pros would hit that pose. And my second thought is really that Blessing looks pretty big here, and I think kind of the things that we're working against Blessing is I think he actually did look kind of, I don't want to say small, but he looked kind of flat at those two shows that he did last year, and I think he got out-muscled because of that, and had he been a little bit fuller and a little bit sharper, I think he would have done much better. I think the conditioning wasn't quite what we expected it was going to be from Blessing based on what we had seen leading up into those shows. He had posted a lot of physique updates where he was looking crazy vascular, he was looking really lean, and I think that was something that a lot of us were expecting to see when he took the stage. So more so than size, when Blessing does compete again, and hopefully that will be this year, I'm going to be looking at conditioning. Specifically, detail and separation in the legs from the front and from the back, the glutes, the hamstrings. We're going to be looking for that for sure the next time we see him on stage. But overall, from a size standpoint, he looks good. His legs look like he brought them up from a size standpoint, at least in this update. And who knows, maybe he'll do the Indy Pro again this year. I think it's in May, so just less than 5 months away we could see him on stage. That seems like a appropriate distance away from this update as far as how far out he is. Now, next up in the news, speaking of 300-plus pound bodybuilders, Big Ramy. So recently, in a live stream with Dennis James, Big Ramy gave us an interesting update about his body weight. So Ramy says in that live that he's weighing 341 pounds right now, 155 kgs. And he also notes that he's feeling very healthy and that he wants to bring something different this year. So my first thought on this is kind of something that happens with Ramy a lot, where he'll give an update about his weight, or his coach will give an update about his weight, and the number seems shocking, and everybody talks about the number for like a week. I'd say at this point in Ramy's career, the numbers don't matter. The weight doesn't matter. I think he's even been as big as almost 360 pounds. I feel like a few years back, he was like 355 in the offseason. But this goes back to before Ramy ever won the Olympia. We used to say this all the time on the channel. We know that Big Ramy is big. It's in his name. He doesn't need to be any bigger. It's not surprising when we see these big numbers from Big Ramy. That's what he's known for. It shouldn't be a shock when you see that 341, because that's kind of Big Ramy's calling card. And it's hard to even point out something that Ramy needs to improve on, because he's already won 2 Olympia titles. He's going for his 3rd this year. He's got all the muscle in the world. There's no secret that he has no issue out-muscling almost any bodybuilder in the IFBB. He is Big Ramy. He's already got that size. He's already got that muscle. So as far as improvements, the only thing that really needs to be improved, or could be improved, is sharper conditioning. Big Ramy's always going to be big. That's like the main thing he's been consistent on all these years. He's always big. He's never small. Sometimes he's been flat, but he's never been small. So anyway, I just say that to say I'm not shocked by this number. I don't think you guys should be shocked by this number. And honestly, it's not the biggest that Ramy's been. I know 340 pounds or 341 seems like this big shocking number, especially when we're talking about a lot of bodybuilders downsizing right now. But I really don't think it is. I don't think it's a bad thing, and I don't think it's going to have any bearing negatively on his placing in 2022. I don't think he's too big, if that's the discussion that people are having. And honestly, my Olympia predictions, I think he's going to win again. I think he's going to win a 3rd title. I think Brandon is going to win the Arnold Classic, and he's going to give Ramy a run for his money again at the Olympia, but I think Ramy's going to end up taking the title home for a 3rd year. We've had a lot of young breakout stars in bodybuilding over the past year or two, Nick Walker being one of them. But a lot of these young guys, including Nick Walker, including Hunter Labrada, I think it's going to take a few years for them to really come into their own to be a top 2 or potential Olympia champion. So right now, there's a lot of guys that are hot on Ramy's heels, but I don't think anybody is caught up enough as far as the young guys are concerned to give Ramy a run for his money or beat Ramy. So I think he's in a position to win again. Now, next up in the news, classic physique competitor Fabian La Rabia. We've seen a lot of impressive physique updates from him lately. I was actually talking to him in the DMs a couple days ago, and I wanted to get some clarification on what exactly the beef was between him and Logan, because I really wasn't familiar with why they had an issue with each other. So I said, what's your beef with Logan? I'd like to make another video about it. He says, I commented on the Olympia page once, and it seemed that he got angry. Since then, he invited me to compete, but at that time, I did not have permission to enter the United States. I believe he's referring to the Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic. So I don't know what the comment was that he left on the Olympia page. He leaves that out, so I don't know what made Logan mad. But I remember Logan saying, come compete against me in the Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic, which Logan won. He says, I immediately had permission. In between, I told him that now I am here because he does not invite me to compete. This was my condition the other year, but due to the visas, I could not compete. So the year that he was qualified for the Olympia, he could not make it over to the States to compete because of visa problems. And this video is a video of him from his prep. And look, I think Fabian has a great physique, and I like discussing guys like Fabian that might be lesser known and their name might not be out there as much, because the thing that is so unique about the classic physique division is there's so much talent there in that category. There's so many guys that are so genetically gifted. They have such great structures, or they have such great flow, or they have such great physiques from an aesthetic standpoint. There's just so many different guys to showcase. So Fabian, I think, he's just a guy that I'm excited to see on stage. I'm excited to see these rivalries. Remember when Logan was calling out guys? Logan had rivalries with Bumstead, and then he went on to become arguably one of the best physiques in Classic now. And Logan has proved himself, and I think Fabian could be another guy that has the physique to back up some of the talk, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do. Now, the final story I wanted to include in this video, Aaron Singerman, the guy that most of you probably know as being the face of Redcon One, one of the biggest supplement companies in the industry right now. He posted what is his last post on social media, at least for a while. Apparently, he is incarcerated now, and that's why his wife posted this for him. And this is all kind of a result of things that he was involved with like 6 or 7 years ago when he was involved with the company Blackstone Labs. Now, whatever happened there, I don't really know too much about. It was kind of gray area ingredients being included in some of the supplements. I don't think I've ever had a single conversation with Aaron about any of that stuff that happened, because I didn't meet Aaron until 2017. So this case with Aaron has been dragging on for like the past 6 years. There hadn't been any sentencing. It had only recently gone to trial. And really, that's the reason I haven't talked about it. It's an old case that's been dragging on for years, and there hasn't really been any major updates. But Aaron is a very public figure in this industry, and now that he is locked up, I think it's pertinent news to kind of have his side of the story, also in this video. Him being the face of a really well-known, one of the largest supplement companies in the industry, and now going away, I think now it becomes a little pertinent. I've seen comments on some of my videos, why aren't you talking about the Singerman PJ Braun case? Aaron must have paid you off. Couldn't be further from the truth. I've never had really a single conversation with Aaron about it. He's never asked me not to talk about it. And I currently don't receive any money from Aaron or Redcon One. But anyway, I digress. I feel like I'm ranting a little bit. It just seemed like when I shared the video of Aaron to my Facebook Nick Strength and Power page, it seemed like a lot of people were celebratory of the fact that he was going away. I personally feel bad for his family. I mean, obviously, if you do the crime, you got to do the time, but I don't think I would ever be happy to see a father get taken away from his wife and kids, no matter what the circumstances were. But anyway, here's Aaron's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below after you watch it.
Hey guys, we're making this video the night before my hearing tomorrow, and I'm hoping that Daryl never needs to post this on my Instagram and post it on social media. But I felt like, and Daryl felt like, that this is something that I needed to do. I didn't want to leave unanswered questions, because it's going to be a while till I'll be able to post again myself. So before I get going, I want to say thank you to all my friends who have reached out and been there for me. And we've had tremendous support. And, while I will be gone, we have so many people that have reached out and said that they'll do whatever they can to help Daryl and the kids. And that's just awesome to know that that support is there. And for all those people that did that, thank you. And for all the, quote unquote friends that didn't reach out, that's been helpful too, because it lets me know who's my real friend and who's not, and that's okay. That's something that goes along with the territory that I expected that this would eventually come. While I didn't expect this result, the truth is that there's a lot of anxiety attached to this. A lot for me. I wasn't expecting so much. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, a lot of not good stuff. We've had tremendous ups and tremendous downs in the 10 years that me and Dariel have been together. And we've experienced, as I've said this many times, multiple lifetimes in that 10 years. And we've had so many great times, but also some bad times. And this is one of them for sure. And over the last month from changing my plea, it's been more than a month, it's been extremely difficult for me, extremely difficult. And as a result of all the stress and anxiety, I made some bad decisions that I wished I wouldn't have made. And, I regret them. And I wish that I was more prepared to handle this kind of anxiety and stress, but I haven't been. So I want to say sorry to anybody I disappointed, and tell the fans and our friends of Redcon 1 that Redcon 1 is totally healthy, right? It has nothing to do with this. It's a past company of mine from over 6 years ago, and it has nothing to do with our products. We have been, one of the things that when I left Blackstone, one of the things that was very important to me when we started Redcon is to make the company a whole different kind of company, very compliant. We never wanted to use any ingredients that weren't. We wanted to create a company that was as clean could be, and actually create a company that was able to be looked at by the industry and its consumers, our consumers, as the shining light of compliancy and the shining light of doing things the right way, and creating a brand that the customers can be proud to take and confident that they're taking what they're told they're taking. So if you're a Redcon 1 customer, don't be concerned. The products aren't changing. In the last year, I've been kind of backing off in terms of leadership, where Eric Hart has been picking it up and the rest of the leadership team has been picking it up. And then in the last 2-3 months, I've been even more removed on purpose because I didn't want to leave a vacuum. And a lot of great people on our team has stepped up a lot. So we have a leadership team of 8 people who are just awesome, and are going to take Redcon 1 to the next level. So that is a big thing that we have done. In terms of me, I mean, I'm going to miss, bigger than anything else, I'm going to miss Dariel, my wife, my 3 boys, Asher, Aiden, and Elijah, more than anything else. I'm not scared of where I'm going. I'm not scared of what's going to happen for me. In fact, I'm only exclusively scared for them. They're the priority in my life. They're the most important people in my life, and they're the reason I do everything I do. All the hard work that you guys have seen, the brand we've created, it's all ultimately for them and for us to, have a financially secure family and have fun times together and provide the opportunity to do things that I didn't get to do as a kid. So, it's been the biggest blessing of my life to have 3 sons. And it scares me that they are not going to have a dad for a period of time, whether it's a short period of time or a little bit longer. Any amount of time that I'm gone, it's going to be hard for them and hard for Dariel. So, when people ask me what can they do for me, the answer is support Dariel and the kids, and that's the answer for everybody. Because a lot of people have said, like, what can I do to help? Well, what you could do to help is make sure you're extra kind to Dariel and the kids during this very tough time for everybody. So I want to thank everybody. Hopefully Dariel's not posting this right now. Hopefully you're not seeing it. But if you are, this may be the last time you see me on social media for quite some time. So we may post some of my updates in text form on social media in the future. I'm not sure. But I wanted to tell everybody, I'm sorry this is happening. Very sorry for my family. Sorry that I'm having to do this video, that we feel like I should do this video. And I wish things were different, and I wish I could go back in time and change some of the mistakes I made at the other company. And I tried to right my wrongs by creating Redcon and doing something that was, squeaky clean. But that's not how the world works. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to pay for past mistakes, even if it seems like a lifetime ago. You're still on the hook. So I guess the message for anybody out there, never take any shortcuts. Never do anything that you are questionable about. Because if you do, it can come back to haunt you, even if it's years and years later. No matter how much good stuff you do, no matter how many people you help, it may not matter. And in this case, it hasn't mattered. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate all your support, and I appreciate the customers and fans and friends, family of Redcon 1, all of our tier operators, all of our great athletes, all of the super employees we have created this company. It truly was a tremendous team effort from the very beginning. While I have led, and I have led from the front, I am not the end-all be-all of Redcon 1. The company is bigger than any one person, and that's because of you guys. That's because of your support. So thank you again, and hopefully talk to you soon.
And that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.